I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by my co-host with Harrison Bader like hair,
Yeah, it's a weird ordeal. Katie is just proving to be childish.
which is why I don't feel I would give $5 million to Jack Campbell.
I don't know. Baseball is one of those sports where anyone who makes the playoffs really can be a contender.
I think the Padres definitely do it.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell gets traded.
Kyrie Irving does have the track record of not being a great locker room fit, or even good locker room fit.
Bader got some luscious locks. I gotta say it.
This is Zach Bigley, the broadcaster for the Frisco Rough Riders, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin. You guys better subscribe.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin. This is going to be just reviewing Week 1 of baseball. And I'm Kevin, as I just said again, and I'm joined by the man with hot sports opinions and flow, Austin.
And flow. I had that hockey flow. This is not a hockey video, but I do think it's a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking
a
of
little bit
Harrison Bader
inspired.
flow until he
Oh,
joined
yeah.
the Yankees.
Yeah,
Dumb rule.
I was not thinking of Bader because he, unfortunately for those who enjoyed the flow, such as myself, it's sad to see it gone. But we can always remember the flow that he had.
Yeah. Did you have a good opening day?
I did have a good opening day. I mean, 5-0 win by the Yankees. Can't get much better.
All right. And I do have a question for you. So one team got swept in the first series. And they are currently second to last. They only have one win. They're 1-5. Do you have thoughts on? Do you want to make a prediction?
I already know who you're talking about because your favorite team beat them in the first series of the year. But
we swept them, and that was pure. I just wanted one win or two wins. I was like 3. Let's go. Especially in the when Jacob deGrom did not make it through 5 innings.
Oh no, that first game was immaculate, especially because I mean, like I said before when we were doing our opening day fun video, those were my 2 Cy Young winners, and they both did horrible, and the Rangers did end up winning. But the Phillies, I don't think we need to be scared of. It's early in the year, and a lot of time to make changes as necessary. But I think it's just growing pains, and that happens when you get new guys in the new system.
Yeah, I agree. I think they'll be fine. They'll probably win the NL East. We'll see. Also, thoughts on Jazz Chisholm playing center field?
Still looks awkward. I haven't gotten accustomed to it yet, but he hasn't played poorly. I've been very impressed with Sandy Alcantara, and he just threw a under 2-hour game, first one since 2010. That was under 2 hours. He won 1-0. It was a shutout. It was a crazy pitching performance from him. I think he only allowed 3 hits and he had 1 walk. But
And I know he had a rough opening day, and so did DeGrom and Nola, but I don't really value that. Like, it could just be nerves. Like, I think they'll settle in when they're of those caliber pitchers.
yeah, and I do think it's important to realize that these guys are human and they're going to have a bad game. So it's not all that surprising that they all had bad games at the start of the year. It's when they're the most cold.
Yeah, and I think Corbin Burns also had a okay opening day, but I think he's probably done better now. And anything else that comes into mind? Players?
How do you like Josh Jung?
I love him. He's incredible, and he's done better than I thought. Like, I know he had a 2-run homer, and he's a really fun player. And I think I don't think he's gonna be a superstar third baseman. I think he's gonna be a good third baseman, and but defensively, I think he's all right.
You guys don't plan on trading him to the Yankees?
Hmm?
You guys don't plan on trading him to the Yankees?
He's probably. If I had to guess, in 5 years, Corey Seager will probably be playing third base. And then Josh Young, I think, might go to first base. And then there'll be a different shortstop. Because I know that's something I always bring up. They're like, Corey Seager's probably going to end up playing third base. at the end of his contract.
That's true. But Simeon could always play shortstop.
Yeah, or like we get like, and there are like some like I don't think Josh Smith will be a shortstop, but there could be someone else that they sign, or Simeon could go, and we do have second base.
How do you feel about Grayson Rodriguez getting called up and then playing against the Rangers?
That one's weird because we will be doing in the future. We'll do a call up video, and I was gonna bring up Rodriguez because like he had a bad AAA start, right?
Yeah.
And then they called him up, and I was like, why not just have him at the beginning of the year start?
He didn't pitch horrible. He had 2 earned runs in 5 innings, which is a 3.6 ERA. But your first matchup being DeGrom is not something that I particularly enjoy if I was
Yeah,
first start.
it'd be tough.
Yeah,
And DeGrom looked good.
A guy I want to shout out, and I'm definitely biased in saying this. You and I both have somewhat ties to this guy, so I don't blame you or I for wanting to see this guy succeed. But Kyle Muller, who had an opening day start and won against the Angels, and through 2 games, he's thrown 10.2 innings, 2.53 ERA. Very impressive. They ended up losing last night in extra innings, but to the Guardians. But Oakland, they seem to have some talent. Now, I don't know necessarily if you want to play well to get out of there or to get a further contract, which you're probably not going to get from the Athletics. But
yeah, no, but yeah, that's good. I thought you were gonna before you said both of us. I thought you were gonna bring up Volpe, who I think is doing pretty well.
Pretty well is maybe a little bit too high praise. He's definitely been very good fielding, but his 176 batting average is leaves something to be desired. I wish we still had Peraza on the roster. I pray that we could get rid of. Unfortunately, they put him down to AAA.
Yeah, that's because I remember him being called up. I've just been seeing headlines of Walker and Volpe. They're like Walker and Volpe because the Cardinals, Jordan Walker, I think, has been playing really well.
Right? Yes.
And that could be something. I know, like, that roster looks so good. And everyone I've been listening to is talking about that roster. And even the bench pieces they have.
Yeah, and once they get Wainwright healthy, I feel like their team's going to be much better. I think he's the second best starter on the team. And they just got to get a little bit more healthy. But, again, start of the year is very, very tumultuous time for every team. It takes you a long time in baseball to get back into the swing of things, and I think we're seeing that with a lot of teams right now who have maybe a worse record than they would.
Yeah, and it'll be fine. Like, Rangers are currently leading the AL West. I'd be shocked. I'd be happy, but I'd be shocked if they're doing that midway through the year, or even at the end of the year. There's plenty of times where things happen. But on the Cardinals, I believe Juan Yepez is like on their bench. They also have Tyler O'Neill and they have Jordan Walker. I feel they could maybe trade a Yepez if they want to stay with Walker and get some more pitching help because that's the glaring need for the Cardinals starting pitching.
Yeah, and that's why I do think Adam Wainwright being hurt at the start of the year does not help them. They need a starting pitcher. He's been a good starting pitcher recently. Like, him being hurt is not a good thing.
Yeah, I think we both talked about, like, they need a starter, even though they have Wainwright. They need another guy. So it just...
So Wainwright being out is... Yeah. It hurts it even more. I do want to talk about the fact that the last team that is 6-0, or a team that is undefeated, last team, the Rays. Thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, but, like, I think they're really good. They're just they somehow beat the notion of you need to pay. Like, they just develop guys, and
I guess incredible. They paid Wander. They played Wander.
But they did Wander like very early before Wander reached superstar level. Like, he has the potential to do it. And then Randy Arozarena, I'm curious what happens with him because, like, he was playing really well at the WBC, and I don't know how he's doing now.
Let me check. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I will find out for you. So, Randy Arozarena, he's hitting 364. He's playing well.
Okay. because people, the main podcast I listened to, they were like, he's an 1100 OPS in the postseason, but regular season he's 800. So they say he just like changes, which is weird, but which is like weird that he does that. But I do think they have a lot of depth, and I've been a believer in the Rays ever since that trip to the World Series.
Yeah, and I think that they have a team, especially with McClanahan, who I think is a great pitcher, to make a lot of noise.
And like they still have some guys. I think Taj Bradley's in AAA,
Yep.
and I know he was sent down. But the thing with the Orioles, I know we're bouncing around, but with Grayson Rodriguez, like, why are you not calling him up?
Earlier,
But then you call him up 5 days later, almost.
I don't understand the difference. Maybe they just wanted to make sure that he was healthy, that he was prepared. But I mean, to throw him in like, hey, we're calling you up and you're playing tomorrow is
Yeah,
not the best way to go about it. I would feel like I would struggle a lot more because I'm someone who likes to watch film when I played any sport. Film was my best friend, and you're giving Grayson Rodriguez no time to prepare. Like you start every fifth game, and so you could watch. Hey, I'm going to play against this team. Let me watch all their hitters. Let me watch how they do they bunt, how much do they steal, what count do they swing at, what pitches do they swing at. But Grayson Rodriguez was like his first start against DeGrom in a very hot Rangers team, thrown into the fire, which I don't think is good for in any sport, let alone baseball.
yeah, and I think it wouldn't make sense with server time manipulation because if you have him up for the whole year, and he gets close in the have you seen that rule?
I have
With
not.
if you so the Mariners got pick like 29 in the first round of the draft, and that's because of Julio Rodriguez winning the Rookie of the Year. They have another first round pick
Okay.
because he won Rookie of the Year, and it's if he's on your opening day roster if Volpe comes close in Rookie of the Year or MVP voting or Jordan Walker for the Cardinals, the Cardinals and Yankees can get an extra draft pick, and it's like a high draft pick because that's how they're curbing service time. That's one of the new rules.
But they
Where
have to
it's
be on your
like,
opening day roster.
yeah, or like they have to be more than half because I know Adley Rushman. Oh, it's not. They don't have to be on your opening day roster if they played a significant amount of games and they're in like the top 3 for MVP or Rookie of the Year. They get a full year of service time and you get a pick. Or it's maybe you get a pick if they're on your opening day roster. But like Adley Rushman already has service time because he was in contention for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that's weird because I look at it and his service time is .138, which is like none, like zero.
Oh, Adley Rushman?
Yeah, but he's exceeded rookie limits in 2022, which is weird because he played 113 games.
Okay. But there's something to where if they're close in Rookie of the Year, teams get paid for it. So they're trying to incentivize, like, hey, you'll get a draft pick if you call up your guys to help your team.
Yeah, and I do think that's something. I mean, I never understood sitting a guy. I got the paying thing, but getting MLB experience is extremely important, and I think that's much more valuable than whatever you'd lose paying them more earlier.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, the Rodriguez call up was just weird to me. I'm like, why are you doing it this early, but he's not on your opening day roster? That's just weird. Um, but yeah, we can talk about that more later.
Let's
Seems like
let's.
the Red Sox or what?
I was gonna bring up some surprising teams, but we can go Red Sox first.
It seems like they've cooled down. They're at the bottom.
Yeah, Adam Duvall has played very well at the start of the year, and they also had some good pitching performances. But the Red Sox, I don't think they have enough talent. You and I both had them, I think, at the bottom of the division, and that's just because of their lack of talent.
Yeah, I agree. What surprising teams did you want to bring up?
I'll bring up the Pirates, 4-2. Pirates are 4-2. They're second in the NL Central. Do you think that they could be maybe not a playoff team, but competitive, maybe around 500.
Maybe I'm a little bit worried about their pitching, but maybe that's why they're not a playoff team because it looks like as long as they keep uh Reynolds, like you have Cruz, you have
Reynolds has
Brian
been
Hayes,
extremely good at the start of the year. Like he's hitting 417. Like
Reynolds,
yeah,
or
he's
Cruz.
mashing right now.
Yeah. So I hope a deal works out and that they get so he can stay. So I think it's just depends on pitching because I don't think they have any notable pitching prospects that are on the cusp. Like with the Orioles, I've always been hearing Grayson Rodriguez, or like I'll see him in the show.
Or I mean, they have so many other guys too. I mean, Allie Rushman last year. They're gonna have Gunnar Henderson soon. There's so many guys for them. But that's true with some of these other guys. We're not seeing any of their prospects in the show or anything else.
But yeah, another surprising thing is probably Diamondbacks are at 2, but that's a team probably where pitching they have Zach Gallen, but outside of that, what other pitchers do they have?
Yeah, and they're only 3-3. It's nothing impressive. Like I was thinking, like, oh, the Marlins are second in their division, but oh, they're 3-4. Another
Yeah,
surprising team would be the Angels or Rangers. I guess also surprising would be Houston being 3-4, or the worst team in the AL West, Seattle 2-5.
yeah, I think Seattle will pull through. They'll do something. I trust in them. And then we didn't really get to it. Quick, I saw Luis Arias. Yeah, I said yeah, Arias. Did a bunt. I think it was like the second game of the season against the Mets.
And what happened?
I think he still got on base, but it was also like he was just bunting and he wasn't facing a shift.
Oh, so he just bunted to bunt.
Like he just bunted to bunt. And I was like, oh, whoa.
Was it a drag bunt or was it like?
I think it was a drag bunt, and he did it to where he still got on base. Like he did it towards the pitcher and the first baseman. So then the first baseman came up to the pitcher, and no one was on base, so they couldn't make a play. So he still got on base, and they advanced the runner.
Wow, maybe we will see more of the running game.
And then there was a Jeff McNeil throw. Did you see it? The highlight?
I did not.
He was like, he had made a dive, and then a guy was going home, and then he just turns and throws it, and then he gets the guy out.
Sounds
But like,
impressive.
yeah. So it was something I liked, and I was like, I get what some of the news rules are saying, but I just want to know your thoughts quickly, but not too much because it's just at the end of the video.
I still don't like him. The only rule that I'm kind of okay with right now is the bigger bases. I don't see it affecting as much as I thought it was going to affect. So I don't think the bigger bases is as big as an issue as I initially thought. I still would have preferred it being less big. Like I'm okay with an improvement, but I think they made them a little bit too big. But I'm fine. Like I'm not gonna. It's nothing to worry about for me. Pitch clock, hate it. Only having 2 pickoff moves, I think, is very disingenuous. How are you gonna make the bases bigger and have a pitch clock, and then only do a certain number of pickoffs? Because then it's so you can just look at the timer. He's out of pickoff moves. Let me look at the timer, and I'm gonna go at 0 or right before you go. Like you know he can't pick off. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's something like I thought this like bigger bases would be with the stolen to improve stolen bases, but apparently they're like, no, that's player safety.
No,
And
no,
then
the
make
bigger bases is less than I thought. The stolen bases really come down to the pickoff moves and the pitch clock, and
yeah,
I think they're forcing their hand a little bit too much and making too many changes that are not necessary.
yeah, that's a little teaser for y'all. I just wanted to have the thoughts because Austin and I disagree on this. I think it's bigger of an issue, like it's more noticeable now, and then in a few months it will be you're used to it.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So I'll try to do check-ins, because I kind of I get the pitch clock, and I kind of like it to where it's shorter. Like that for opening day game for the Rangers was pretty nice watching it. I was like, wow, this game's gonna be long, and then it's over in 3 hours. I was like, or a little bit over 3 hours. I was like, sweet.
I
Yeah,
kind of get that, but I mean, games were already going that length anyway. I think the fact that the average NFL game is longer than the average MLB game, and there's so much time in NFL games that are just nothing's happening. That they're calling a play. Like, what are we doing right now? Nothing. There's not much game time in football. There's not many plays, unlike baseball where you have to throw a pitch. So I feel like it's more about marketing and how the NFL plays itself into the hands of the audiences while the MLB avoids it. And now it's just trying to make changes that are going to hurt the fans you already had, trying to desperately get fans that you don't have right now.
Okay. I think it's a good point. I'm going to end it there because I don't want to get too much into the new rules.
Yeah.
Because I told you I wasn't going to do that. So.
Sounds good.
Let us know what you think. This is what our thoughts on week 1. Who do the Yankees play next few days?
Today's game was postponed. Tomorrow they play the Orioles. This is as we're recording.
Yeah, as we're recording. This will be coming out Friday, correct?
I think so.
Monday. It's this Saturday.
Something like that.
Yeah. So let me check it out because I'm curious. But I'm intrigued with the Orioles because they seem like a fun team, but pitching is a thing that's a problem for me. And as of right now, Rangers play the Cubs. That's gonna be fun. So on Saturday they play the Cubs, and Sunday they play the Cubs, and they play the Royals. So that should be fun. And then I don't know what the Yankees.
Yeah, we play Saturday. We play the Orioles still, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's supposed to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or no? I think we're making up the game on Saturday actually, or
nice.
Sunday maybe. I don't know. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday we start against the Guardians, a new series.
Ooh, Guardians will be good, but Carlos Rodon and Montas are still out, right?
Montas is probably out for the year. Severino's still out.
Wow.
Injury haven. That is us.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'm sure the Rangers are going to get hit by it soon, but fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll end it there. Let us know what you think, and thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions. Don't forget to check out the Instagram, _podcast20, and then _podcast for Twitter. That's all we got. Thank you.